Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Special Ed, aka the youngest in charge, aka the magnificent. And right now, y'all tuned in to ABlackTV.
Somebody should have said that Special Ed was the magnificent.
The magnificent.
I'm the magnificent dynamite.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy ABlack with ABlackTV.com. I'm honored to be here with a hip-hop legend, my man Special Ed.
Appreciate you,
I'm
my brother.
to what I call the Lions Den,
Yes,
down
sir.
here right by Uptown Charlotte. So we're gonna get right into it, man. First off, if you don't know Special Ed, really don't know hip-hop, been living under a rock, but he has two of my biggest favorite hits in I'm the Magnificent and I Got It Made. So let's take us back real quick. I know you talk about it all the time, but just remind everybody of the impacts of those songs and what it meant to you in your career.
Man, those songs were my first songs that I recorded when I was still in high school. I was 15 years old at the time, and we lucked up and caught a record deal with Profile Records, and that was the same label Run DMC was on, so their reach was really out there, and they were able to get me to the top of the food chain in terms of the business. That record was everywhere in every market. It was playing out of every car, every radio station, and I think it definitely left a mark in the hip hop community and culture, because it also showed that young people could achieve those goals as well and become economically empowered. So I think that it set a precedent overall in terms of just where you can take it as far as hip hop, even as a youth.
Do you feel like hip hop is always powered by the youth?
Well, in a sense, because the youth dictate what is hot and what they want and what they're going with. But every demographic has a choice in buying power. And actually, the real buying power are the working class adults. But the children are their children, and you always want to give the children what they want. So that's how the children become decision makers as well. But overall, man, it's always a choice who you empower and what you empower. So remember that.
Definitely. Speaking on buying power, it's rare. I interview a lot of people that can come across a hip hop artist that's touched all different eras of hip hop. I feel like. Do you feel like money kind of messed up hip hop when it became a buying factor and people could really make a lot of money from it?
I don't think that the money messed it up. I think that the forces and the powers that be behind the money is what messed it up, because they have their own agenda and they're pushing their own ideals and plans on people and children and future generations. There's always a plan to keep someone down. So what happens is, right now, they've gone from a positive message and a means to communicate globally, and they've changed that message so that what they're communicating globally is now negativity for the most part. I mean, you still have plenty of artists out there that's uplifting and encouraging and positive, but that music sometimes never sees the light of day in the mainstream or on the radio because of the agenda in place.
Mm-hmm. Now, you did a lot of side work, specifically with the Brooklyn Dodgers and working with the Brooklyn Films and Spike Lee. Can you touch a little bit about that and how you even got involved with working with Spike Lee?
Yeah, well, Spike is from Brooklyn, and he got Q-Tip and Ali Shaheed Muhammad to do the track for Brooklyn and asked them to go and group up some Brooklyn MCs. So Q-Tip called me. We've always been cool. We've came up around the same era, same time. So he called me and asked me if I wanted to be involved, and that was one of the first times that someone has reached out to me for collaboration. So I was elated, like, hell yeah, let's do it. Who else you got? So he said he talked to Buckshot and he talked to Ace, and that they were down. So that's where it all started. And they came over to my studio, the Dollar Cab Lab in Brooklyn. We began formulating the record from the track and writing lyrics and laying vocals. And then from there, we took it into Manhattan, into another studio and dumped it and mixed it. And you know, the rest is history. And as a matter of fact, that was the only modern or up-to-date song on the whole soundtrack. The rest of it was 70s, you know, 70s music.
How did you get the name Special Ed?
I got the name Special Ed because my given name is Edward, which is the reason for the return of King Edward. But you know, they used to call me Eddie and then Ed, and I was trying to find a nice, cool name for a rapper, and I went through a couple of old school names that really wasn't, you know, sticking, names that were generic. And then one day in front of Erasmus Hall High School, you know, a friend of mine, Eric Green, came up to me and was like, you know, you should call yourself Special Ed. And I thought about it for a second, and then I said, yeah, you're right. You know, it had a lot of implications and a lot of meanings, but I thought that I'd turn it into a positive.
Definitely. Now, you know, you got started in the game real young. When you was a young cat coming up, who were your top rappers back then, and who people you looked at as like, they the greatest, and you want to be like them or better than them?
Well, when I came up, I started writing and listening to records like Planet Rock, Sugar Hill Gang, Jimmy Spicer with Super Rhymes. He told a lot of stories. And then, you know, that was Africa Bambaataa, and the Zulu Nation, and just Sugar Hill, Curtis Blow, those guys. And there was a lot of underground MCs and mixtapes, so to speak. You know, Howie T had a crew, you know, CD3, and you know, he had the Treacherous 3 and all that. You know, I used to really love Modi's crew, man. They had some tough hits. And then Melly Mel with The Message. That was really serious to me. When I heard The Message, there was meaning and content in it that all made sense. The flow was crazy and the beat was crazy, so it was just like, yo, that did it for me. And those were kind of like the guys I looked up to coming up. And then when I saw the success of like Run DMC and the Fat Boys and Houdini, I realized that it was lucrative. I started seeing them on TV and started hearing them on daytime radio. And I realized that, look, it's possible. And besides, they were from Brooklyn and Queens, which was right there. You know, I used to see some of them in passing sometimes, so I was like, man, I could do that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to keep you too long. Definitely. Well, there you have it, folks. Once again, I'm ABlack with ABlackTV, here with the legendary, magnificent Special Ed.
On show.
Peace out.
I'm the magnificent.